So, thank you. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Say it again. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Now also thank you. We need both. We need both. So that's our theme for this 50th anniversary liturgy, celebrating Nova's existence and Nova's contribution to our church. And though they are both, thank you and yes, are affirming declarations, they are different responses, aren't they? On the surface, they seem to pull us, if you will, in two different directions. One towards the past, and the other towards the future. So what brings them together? What connects them as a declaration of who we are these 50 years? What makes them intimately bound one to the other? And what I'd like to suggest is what unites them, those two responses, comes from our gospel reading from St. John this evening. What unites them is the response that Jesus had when he saw those first disciples. And what did he say? And what does he say to us? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Like Samuel in our first reading, all of us here have been hearing a call most of our lives. We've heard, like Samuel, we have to acknowledge that I don't know who is always calling me, or certainly to what I'm being called. But we've been hearing this call most of our lives, and in many and various forms have decided to come and see. And we've said that come and see, we responded to that come and see many, many times. Whether that's been in parishes, remember what those are? Or Newman centers, or religious life, or certainly our professional lives. Again, like Samuel, we've discovered that we don't try to answer the call by ourselves. We do it within the context of community. We look to others to help us to discern that call. And it's a call where whatever is our history of listening to that call, of trying to respond to it, where have we ended up? Here. We've ended up with Nova. That somehow or other, that call has led us here, in one form or another. And our response is one of thanks. But the thanks is not a generic one. The thanks is enfleshed in the people in this room. The people in this room. And on the last page of our worship guide. And I invite you to take that page. Take the worship guide. Take a look at that last page, if you will, please. It lists the Nova angels that have been a part of Nova over these past 50 years. Few of us here have been around long enough to know most of them. And some of you may not know many of them. But look at those names. Read those names. Who jumps out at you? Let the smile come. And what I'd like you to do, if you want, you don't have to, is just name a name that jumps out at you so we can hear them. We can bring them into this space.
Bill Callahan. Dean Howe.
Sonia and Gil.
The chairs just filled up. Thank you. I mean, it's just, they're here.
I think he was an angel.
If you've seen that movie, Coco,
Yes, he
you know what this is about. We remember them. And remember with gratitude the impact that they had on our lives. But now I'd also like you to look around this room. Look at the people who are here. Look at your brothers and sisters who have inspired you, who have challenged you, who have maybe irritated you, and certainly supported you. And again, I don't ask you to call out those names. But I do want you to look around and catch their eyes. And feel the gratitude. Feel the gratitude. In doing this, we're reminded that every member of Nova has said yes. Has said yes over and over again. Not just in being, again, a generic disciple of Jesus, but a disciple who's concerned about the needs of others, whether it's in South Arlington or the South Sudan, whether it's about dreamers in the USA or young women desiring an education in Africa. Each of us has had to decide many times over the years to be a follower of Jesus, to be Jesus for the other. And we have helped each other to continue to do that. We experience the gratitude that comes from the yeses and the people connected with those yeses. And if we listen closely to ourselves, this is the moment when gratitude, when thanks, connects to the yes. The energy that gratitude activates seems to naturally or spontaneously or gracefully leads us to respond today and in the days ahead with future yeses. We feel gratitude for the meaning that our lives have had because of this discipleship that we have shared with others. That discipleship has been a yes to a vision of church, to a way of doing church that is inclusive of all, whereby we take responsibility for our baptismal promises, that we help to create that church. It's a yes that is focused on helping to bring greater justice to our world, to our country, and indeed to our church. And a yes that gathers each week in prayer that is creative and hope-filled. This yes to discipleship and to church has brought meaning to our lives. That's why we're here today. It's brought meaning to our lives as individuals, but also as a community. And as Hammarskjöld wrote, when everything has meaning, how can we live with anything but a yes? Yes to God, yes to fate, yes to ourselves. How will we do that in the future? Only God knows. But God's Spirit has guided this community for 50 years. And it's guided to be a source of hope, a source of meaning, a source of support of others in a whole range of human experiences and needs. Indeed, it's a time to say thank you, but it's also a time to continue to say yes to whomever God calls us to journey with. So after 50 years, Jesus is still saying to you and to me, come and see. Let's pray that this community and each one of us individually will continue to say thank you and